Good morning, world. Welcome to Zippysworld. Back alive and broadcasting. Well, recording it. Whether it'll actually see the YouTube channel is normally the problem, because I'm a lazy bugger who doesn't seem to find the time to edit them. But here we are. It's England. It's February. It's a drizzly day. Not as bad as summers have got it in England at the moment. Seems like Mother Nature's having to go back at the moment. My heart goes out to anybody that's severely affected. West Country, Australia, everywhere really at the moment. It's really having a crack. If it's not viruses, it is weathers. Anyhow, on to less important things and far more trivial things. Me, my bike, and my new camera. I don't know if any of you noticed a difference in the quality picture, what have you. It's because I've moved away from the drift camera. They stopped supporting their app and bits and pieces. It's just my biggest hate. You buy a product and then things just stop working. They're like, oh yeah, well that's an old model now, son, you know, that's the way it goes. And then the rest of us are moaning that we're very wasteful and not reusing things. I was like, well, carry on supporting things. Anyway, it's a great camera to drift. I'm not going to slag it off. Just carry on supporting your older models and carry on updating the apps for when operating systems get updated, etc. There's a lot of erms this morning. It's because I thought that twat was going to pull out on me. But beside the point, I am now armed with a Sena 10C Evo, because I love the idea of my communicator, which I need for my bike, etc., being built in with my camera, so I'm not armed on both sides of my crash helmet, which tends to make you feel a bit wibbly wobbly. And I'm always a bit concerned that if, on the unlikely event that I did come off, that all these things attached to your lid are going to stop your lid rolling. I mean, they're designed for a reason, to protect your bonds and to cause the least amount of interference. If, like me, you bolt camera on the side, you've created an egg shape, an unusual egg shape that's going to go ba-dunk, 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 ba-dunk as you hit the deck. So, but we won't dwell on that too much because it's never going to happen. But yeah, the idea of having one thing on the side sounds a much better idea. Excuse me. So far so good, quality wise. I'll let you guys comment on that. But it's doing what I needed to do, which is record and act as a communicator with the new Africa Twin CRF1100. Exchanged the 1000 back in December, so I've had it a good few months now. One of the first adopters, which is crazy, because I did that with 1000 and regretted it and said, oh, you first people get all the teething problems, and I stand by that, because that first model had so many little quibbles, switch gears, and you know, headlights not staying up. There was, you know, it was done, but there was some problems. But touch non-existent wood, this one so far, no quibbles, no teething problems, so good. Hopefully Mr. Honda has sorted his life out. So of course we have the Apple CarPlay here. What did we listen to last? We have a bit of Prince. There we go. See, giving my age away massively. So you can see this is the general music interface. Most of the things you can do by talking to it. So for instance, instead of flicking through this massive display down here, which takes a little while to get used to, I'm going to be honest with you, but most of the time it's a forward, backwards, upwards, downwards affair. So for instance, you click through the buttons, it lights up, it's the play, so you press play, which I won't do. You can go over here, you can flick through them. Best thing to do is keep your eyes on the road and just watch every glance down, which is not so good, to be honest with you. And then we got back and we can see music there, or we can get over to the side and you can see Waze letting up, tunes, thingy there. So if we go there, we go to our main home screen. Okay, and you can see most of the things that are attached there, and I can flick up and down through them. Let's concentrate on the driving here. We do not want to get splattered. But the easiest, safest way is to flick the lever forward, open ways. Why wouldn't you do that? So for everyone that thinks it's dangerous, because it could be, talk to it. Hence the need for the good intercom. And the Sena in a 20S was a great intercom as well. So I thought, you know, seeing the intercom's good. This 10C Evo is expensive. It is expensive. I'm paying for it on the monthly. I'm not loaded. I should probably regret it 3 months in, but hey, that's how we buy the expensive things in life, isn't it? Bikes. Pay for that on the monthly as well. Yeah, so that's enough on the 10C Evo. And that's a quick overview of what's going on with the Apple CarPlay. There's obviously loads to it. I've never had CarPlay on anything at all, so it was all news to me. You got Apple Maps as well. And obviously you can talk to it, get me home, take me to CM16, so on and so forth. Waze is good because of the traffic. I've found another one called maps.me, which is good if you're going a little bit off the road. It has tracks and trails, which is awesome. Would love to see them add the boats in there, the byways open to all traffic. That would be great to see where they were on the map, but not as yet. Whether that's something I can do and upload it for people, I don't know. It's quite new to me there, but I can also ring people by talking. So flick it forward, ring my wife, ring the brothel, ring whatever the case may be, and it rings out. So the point being, you can do it all with voice. You can see me staring at the cars in front. You've got little levers on the front for adjusting volume. Just a quick look there. So you can flick them down on your fingers here, which is why the bars look so busy. Most of the busyness is to do with functions on the CarPlay, but at the same point you can do it with voice. So I don't see any problem with it. As you fiddle, which is what I was doing to show you guys, yeah, I could see how you suddenly turn into a car driver. Are you a knobhead that's looking at one of your devices instead of the road ahead? But you can talk to it. So, like your wife or your girlfriend, the same now applies to your bike. Talk to it every now and again. Let it know that you care. Well, that's that. That's CarPlay very quickly. The flick forward brings you back to the normal display. This is my setup, user 1. This, to my knowledge, you can't flick through by talking. That would have been natty, because you do flick through the settings by pressing up and down. So you will see that having gone from user 1, we now go to user 2. Different display, and this is my setup for trails, sort of off-road. So you can see I've adjusted the power level, which is the P, the EB, which is engine braking, and the traction control is there, and the ABS. So the ABS on this one is set to on. You can set it to gravel, off-road or on-road, I believe. I don't know how much interference you're going to be getting with my visor open. Let's shut this. You'll probably be listening to wind noise. And I also thought the fuel gauge was a good idea, which, as you can see, like everybody that's on YouTube, I am running on fumes. So that's that, and you can flick down. That's the user 1. Next one is off-road, which just shows big... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? A revometer. What's the word on... Rev counter? Is it not a tachometer? Because that's distance. Ah, screw it. I ain't got time to think about it. Anyway, that's the off-road section. Gravel, same interface, but it does alter the characteristics. These are presets. And then you've got urban, and you can see I stole the urban interface for the off-road because I just like the idea of the old-fashioned trail bike circular rev counter. And then tour, which is all your whistles and bells. So you've got your trips down the side, you've got all the... Don't forget, you can do all this by the bars, and you can do it all by touching, but you can only do it by touching when you're stopped, which makes sense, because if I'm leaning over here, I'm not paying attention. So, well done. I'm sure it'll infuriate people at times, but hey, we don't want dead motorcyclists, we want smiley motorcyclists. And then you've got little flicky bars for rolling through these sections left and right. Everything in there, from battery voltage, day of the week, your penis size, everything's in there. Flick to the last one and you can see there's some adjustments in there as well, so you can touch for the torque control, wheelie control. Obviously we'll wheelie our Africa Twins everywhere, so we want some wheelie control. I suppose on a realistic side it's useful if you're trying to loft the front wheel a little bit to get over obstacles and what have you. I'm sure most of these bikes don't end up doing a lot of that, but you have got people like Mad Mick, a YouTube group, what have you, who has no problem getting this over anything, including God knows whatever he likes. So that's a bit of an overview of those. It does take a little while to get used to the new bar setup. Sometimes it can feel at night. Honda, I would have liked to have seen at night. I would have liked to have seen some key buttons illuminated, especially for the first couple of months of ownership, because you're so conscious of the fact that there's so many buttons down here. At night, I'm going through the lanes. I'm thinking, is that a car coming? I just give a little beep on the horn. Uh-oh, what am I doing? Am I going down through the gears? Have I activated ejector seat? You know, that sort of thing. There's so many here, so a quick glance, go, oh, it's the one on the left, would have been nice. But at night time, all the buttons that you can easily read during the day become just black licorice all sorts. You don't know what the hell they are. Additions to the new model, over on the other side, over here, is cruise control, which I was like, meh, okay, never needed it, never wanted it. A lot of people do. Having tried it on the motorway, I can see if you're on a long, boring motorway drive, why would you go on the motorway? Go on the A roads and B roads, that's what you got a motorcycle for. I digress. If you're on the motorway, then yeah, it's pretty good. You sort of choose the speed you want, flick the little push cruise control button on, then when you're ready, say, oh, I'm doing 55, well under the country speed limit, but I feel safe. You flick the little button down and it will maintain that speed. It's quite useful. You can up and down it if you think, whoa, you feel a little bit nervy. You can reduce that on the fly. So it works very well. It works very well. I can see if I wanted to have a little sleep on the way somewhere, it would be really useful. Small disclaimer, please do not sleep. As you're on a motorcycle, it can cause accidents. So that's a brief overview of all of this. Let's go back to my user. See, this is what I mean. To be able to shout user 1 would be good. You can see we have a little display underneath here. Speed, type, this is DCT by the way. So you've got, I'm in S1 at the moment, and then you've got the mileage there. Why do you need that when it's up there? Well, because it's not there if you've got the Apple CarPlay. So I suppose you've now got everything you need to stay legal and within your country's guidelines, because you can see the speed, etc. So that's a brief overview of all of that. DCT gearbox over the 1000. They've done some fiddling. They definitely fiddled. It's a little bit better, and I don't know why. It feels better. Now maybe it's a placebo effect. If it is, I'll take that. I'm happy. It feels so obviously, I'm sure what's going to happen, you're going to find the ones you like, you're going to tend to stick there. But hey, a little bit of experimentation is nice. On the bike, not on your girlfriend. Unless, of course, she lets you. So, general style of the bike, I will do a walk around and what have you in a while. I will cut that in here. I love it. I love what they did to it. It was the main reason I started looking at it again. Ooh, I like that. And what have they done that is a major improvement? We have got 2 headlights back. Holy mother of God. We no longer look like a moronic flipping cyclops. We now have 2 headlights back, as well as daytime running lights. which we can choose to have on. Little flicky button down here. We can choose auto or turn them off, etc. Yeah, looks great. It's more frowny now. The Africa Twin is more frowny. It's more serious. Oh, Waze is telling me there's a pothole. Feelings like that that's nice. I mean, yeah, it's really good. I'm really pleased with it so far. Everything is not perfect, I have to admit. I picked it up in December, so obviously ACF50 was one of my first purchases. I'm going to go this way because of the buses. I just hope not to run down a pedestrian. No cars behind me, nothing in front of me. Completely disregarding the pedestrian entrance sign. Nice and slow in case pedestrians are here. We go this way. Watch out for the weird lady with a bubble hat. Yes, saw me too late. Nothing I could do about it, was there? Oh, I don't know if you see that. Screen is flipped. I love the black. The black's much better, and for a while I had it always on the black, and I just wondered if it would do any damage. And I assumed that in the summer it would be harder to see. But there's the black display, which kicks in when it's too dark. There's a little conductor down here. Little light sensor. I don't know what the word is. Photo conductor, I suppose. Something like that. Anyhow, it's down there. And all it does is measure the light. So, and that changes from the dark screen to the light screen if you want it to. The good thing about this bike is that they have given you... It's really slippy there, which is why I'm going slowly. I've been there before where I've missed my feet and had a small poo moment where you drop a small poo in your pants because you nearly dropped your bike. I made a pig's ear of that. It's because I'm on... Everything is adjustable, customizable. It's got sort of cancelling indicators. You can still manually cancel them, and you can turn self-cancelling indicators off. I don't want those. They're annoying. They turn on and off at the wrong point. Cancel them. Do it manual. I like the black display. I have the black display all the time. They've given you some options, which is good. The only thing little mini grumble, if you're going to put this fandangled stuff in front, give us somewhere for the phone. Give us somewhere for the phone. This little sun visor here, why could this not have been a sleeve? That you can drop your phone in there and plug it in the side. Somewhere. I've had to buy... Well, I got one of these cheap plastic holders, which have been brilliant. I've had it on every single bike so far. Can't believe the thing ain't falling apart. It was meant to be cheap crap from abroad, but it's just been brilliant. That's it. Let's turn this off so you can see the natty little... Lovely little shiny Honda. There we go. That's it. Let's flip this to one side. Parking brake, DCT. Right. I apologise for the state of it. It's a bike that's ridden, not polished. There we go. Love the new frown. Little angular chops on the new one. Forks change colours. Subtle differences. There's lots of little subtle differences. These are not standard. This was an extra. Come on, Honda. That's a bit squeaky. You just get this black section. It's almost like they forgot to bolt this bit on. You can buy these 25 quid, which I did, but I'll probably replace these with bark busters. These are obviously not standard. Double take mirrors. And I swapped out for the dark tinted screen because I just thought it looked dumb nuts. You got some changes here. Bolt on subframe. New exhaust sounds better. Different placement of bits and pieces. You got some different bits and pieces on this. This is the standard 18, not the AS. Disappointing that there's no grab rail whatsoever. And I'll show you, this is another crappy thing. This is, the price of this bike goes up, but certain bits and pieces, you're just like, seriously? Surely some of this bike should have gone down in price. The pillion, which I use a pillion. My son, he likes to go. This is the grab rail. Look at that. That is absolute BS. I have stretched it down this way to try and make it look half decent. But you can see, it's absolute crap. But anyway, rear end, a bit more sleek. I'll do you a proper run around. Well, there she is. Thank you for watching the first Zippysworld for a while. Can't make it soon. And see what I'm up to next. Cheers.